Alright, my dudes, welcome to the sausage party. What is it, the pre-reboot special, whatever? I mean, I have a lot to talk about, just so you know. So let me get through, okay, let's see. Alright, yeah, shit's not. I mean, what am I supposed to say? I mean, shit's not looking good, right? Which is why I want you to, quote unquote, live your life and chill out. I mean, to me, it's not that big of a deal. It's just gonna be a repeat. I mean, whatever, dude. I mean, we've been through this, like, what, 2 years now? I mean, I swear to God. Hold on. Clear some tabs. What is this? Dude, they're really pumping out the fear, aren't they? Omni-ness. US fears? Oh my god. Dude, are they really? I mean, if it worked once, I mean, you know, if it worked once, why not do it again? I mean, no one's gonna say nothing, right? Yeah, I mean, whatever, dude. I mean, I've already talked about this. I mean, this is really, I mean, it's in conjunction with the whole Great Saturn conjunction. The whole thing finishes out really, I mean, people thought it was last year. No, I mean, the Matrix 4 should have been a big signaler. That's why, I mean, they do everything to the stars anyways. Like Omni, you know, whatever. Hold on, let me turn this on. Yeah, dude, I mean, Omicron, I mean, you know, I mean, was it not obvious? I mean, I told people about the solar eclipse. Levette's talked about the other eclipses coming up. We still have 2 blue moons. They won by 2025. I mean, I've said this 1,000 times, so you can just chill and move on with your life. Whatever, dude. I mean, look, I mean, whatever, dude. I mean, the problem is, like, I mean, it's full steam ahead. I mean, no one knows how to fight effectively. Like, I gotta be honest. I mean, the truthers, if they were truly honest, I mean, they would have just all agreed together en masse to just write religious exemptions, like, for everybody, and then this would have been over with, if I gotta be honest. But I mean, whatever, dude. I mean, I put my religious exemption. I wrote religious exemptions for people, but I guess, I mean, that doesn't matter. But whatever, dude. I mean, at this point, none of it really matters. It's just a matter of buying time at this point. Whatever, dude. Combating Cult Mind Control. I mean, this is a great book. I mean, at this point, every single subset faction of humanity has been algorithmized into its own group dynamics. Whether it be truthers, the NPCs, the normies, I mean, whichever group you think that you're in, I mean, they use the same tactics at this point. I mean, that's why I highly recommend this book, but I won't assign it until the 1st of January. I mean, this is a great book, Combating Cult Mind Control. And then there's one about the Cult of Mr. T. Great book. I mean, if you actually read this book, you would realize that you got played the whole time. I mean, that's why I think it's hilarious or hysterical what's going on. I mean, maybe then again, I'm just a book club and I just review movies these days. Okay, let's see. Okay, what do I gotta talk about? Hold on. I do have an itinerary. Okay, let's get the first things out of the way. The astral charts, I mean, look, by the end of the new year, I mean, that's like final call. I mean, I won't do any more astral charts. I mean, I'll put my Venmo and my whatever, PayPal, whatever, if you guys actually want a chart, because I've already have 4 confirmed people, Dee, King, Jake, and Beans. I mean, Beans, you're going to give me more information. I mean, I've already emailed you. Maybe Sean, maybe Danny, maybe Weird Australian Girl. I mean, I'll hang on for you guys, but I don't think anybody else has asked me for it. It's because this is too much of a distraction. And I have to wait till after the New Year's because I'm waiting for the source that I use, which is Mastering the Zodiac, to create a chart anyways, because that system is down. Worst case, I'll just use a generic neutral Vedic chart. But, you know, like, I'll do charts for the sake of service, but in reality, I don't really like doing it because it's fatalistic, astral determinism. I mean, you're supposed to identify it, be like, okay, and overcome it anyways. That's why I don't really focus on it. It's more like guidelines, like in Pirates of the Caribbean. Okay, let's see. Yeah, so astral charts, yeah, so I'll put my tip jar in there in case you guys want to give me shekels if you asked me about it before. I mean, to me, it's not that big of a deal. Oh, and just so that everybody knows, I mean, I'm canceling the Christmas special. Well, I'm not canceling. I'm just moving it forward to a New Year's Eve. Just because, look, I actually want people to enjoy the Christmas with their family. I actually want you to spend time with your family, and I actually want to give people the opportunity to move on from my channel if they want. Like, I actually think that this is a very good jumping off point from my channel because I've already covered some of the more important stuff like Groundhog Day, what happens when you die, you know, soul, existence. I mean, but I do understand that people are going to stay around for Matrix 4 anyways. And plus, I don't want to make out the Matrix 4 as soon as it comes out because then it's going to get boosted by the algorithm. And then I don't know. I mean, plus I'd rather just wait for what the dummies say about the movie. It's probably going to be like, oh, the whole Matrix thing was a fantastical delusion. It was delusion of grandeur. Oh my God, you're just oh Neo, you're just a loser. And then, oh, it's a great video game or a movie. And then it's designed to mess up your view of reality. And he's also remember, I would imagine that the movie's about where the hero is not Neo anymore. It's going to be Trinity as they invert it and inflect reality. It's going to be like, what is it? I would imagine it would be just like, the Star Wars reboot, like a repeat of the first Matrix, but in its own Depression Quest way, as Neo is basically, I mean, that's why I could see that he jumped off the building, which is the tower. It's the original card of the tower, where the tower is actually gold coming off the tower, as in the fall and descent of man, so it's the descent of Jesus into physical form. And that would be upon the Hanged Man, the Tower card. I mean, there's a lot to the Matrix for the more I've already seen, so I already know it's going to be good. But I mean, I do want people to calm down to expectations, because it's the signification of the incoming of the digital age, as we are in the cusp area of the age of Aquarius. Even though technically the age of Aquarius is like really, the official start date won't even be for like 40 to 70 years, and then there's a period maxing out to like 300. I mean, we're just in a weird phase. I mean, but it seems like we're already in it, but it's just this weird interim phase where we're at the transition phase of Pisces into Aquarius anyways, which is why if you pay attention to I Bet Goat, we're only halfway done with the sequence of events. I mean, nothing's changed. I mean, that's what I've realized. Nothing's changed. No one has stopped anything. It's not been effective. It's like this idea of the revelation of your time every 20 years. You could have had a revelation in 1999. You could have a revelation now. I mean, that's why I came out on my channel. So to me, it's not that big of a deal. So FYI, I'm moving the Matrix 4 breakdown to New Year's Eve, and then we could focus on the new year. So we can have a great restart. Yay. A repeat, a loop. Yay, a loop. Oh my God, a loop. Man, I literally said I didn't want to be here, but I'm here for the sake of posterity and because people asked me to keep the book club going. And the research is intense. I gotta be honest. I mean, that's the difficult part of my channel. My channel, it's very difficult because I have to do a lot of research, like exegesis. I think I have 20 hours left. I got to the good part where he's talking about how Yav Sabaoth, which is like the insane wizard of this maze labyrinth, he's messing with you. Jesus is the actor character that you play. Sophia, the feminine axis of the mental, is basically like your Cortana wisdom character that tries to help you out. Which is why they always try to take out the feminine axis so that you don't have any idea of what you're doing in the game. And that's why they've obfuscated this whole idea. But I mean, it's getting pretty good. Like this idea that we're stuck in some sort of spiritual maze, that this place is actually a testing ground, a game of Dharma. I mean, the problem with Philip K. Dick is Philip K. Dick, like, it's obvious that it's outdated. He's just a shotgun method where he's right because he touches everything just in case. But I can see where he went astray, and he actually questioned whether or not he won the game, because he said, wait a minute, maybe I got tricked by Yav Sabaoth. Now that I'm old and I have all this money and I don't know what to do, and then did I do the right thing, or did I just meander, goof off, and just give in to my insane ramblings? Probably the latter part, but then he was coping. I mean, I still do enjoy exegesis, but I cannot recommend that book. It is the ramblings of a madman, and he's technically right. That's the funny part. I mean, he's right on a lot of things. I will say that, especially at the part where I'm at right now, where he actually has a very great idea, which is to superimpose the Tibetan Book of the Dead as a bardo. Like I call this our predicament here as the Atlantean bardo, and then you should be applying the Tibetan Book of the Dead not in just after you die, but in your period right now in the living, which is where we could get all these Jungian concepts, like the idea of the shadow, the anima, into the higher self, whatever. That's great. I mean, I talk about that stuff all the time. Then we talk about Freud. I mean, I could talk about Jung again. I mean, just so people know, I mean, in terms of what I really think is going on, I mean, for me personally, I mean, everybody knows that I'm more of a quote-unquote a Gnostic Catholic, Christian / original Buddhist, whatever, or Atlantean Buddhist, whatever. I mean, when I say Catholic Christian, I mean, that's just more the spirituality side, but I've looked into all the spiritualities, so I'm more of a quote-unquote Gnostic. I mean, so the best way you could call me is like a Gnostic, Catholic, or Buddhist if you want to put a label. But I'm just me. I'm just coming to my own conclusions. The conclusion's just simple. We're in a video game. It's the game of Dharma. It's not that hard to win. It's like a Rick and Morty arcade. When I talked about this in the beginning of my channel, now that I watched Defending Your Life, I could impose that when I talk about the Books of the Dead. Yeah, but I mean, I have a lot to do. I mean, I can make infinite content. I backtrack on a lot of stuff that I do. Okay, so let's see. Okay, before I start talking about the reboot, right after this video, I gotta process out some private videos for Rainbow, Pamela, Violet, what was it, Jose, and Beans. I can't believe you didn't. I mean, I had to redo that video for you. Okay, so that's right after this video. Okay, let's see. Because I'm just trying to get stuff out of the way because I want to get back to my reading. Like, I'm behind on my reading. It's because exegesis is a nightmare to go through. Like, I want to do exegesis, Gospel of Thomas, the Book of Revelations, the Parables of Jesus. What else do I have to go through? The Book of Adam and Eve, Jesus and the Lost Goddess. That's just in preparation for the Matrix 4. Okay, let's talk about the reboot. Okay, let's see. Policy of the channel, this is a private book club on an open platform. I mean, you guys can, before I said don't spread it, I don't really care. I mean, some people told me they want to tell the audience about it because a lot of my channel is watched by content creators. I don't really care at this point. You guys can do whatever you want, but I do moderate and try to keep my channel clean, especially from the low IQ dummies. But whatever, dude. Do whatever you want. You can tell your friends, your family. I don't really care, but I always tell you, why are you telling people? Like, shouldn't you be NPC signaling? Oh, and I do want to talk about the whole Voldemort situation at the end, by the way. Let's talk about reboot. Yeah, reboot. Okay, yeah, dude. When we get back to the reboot, we're gonna go back to normal schedule. So this is what is it? The first of the month is a book recommendation. So the first book recommendation is going to be Combating Cult Mind Control. The last of the month is a book review where I break it down. So I would break down Combating Cult Mind Control at the end of the month, the final day. Then I would do I would do shows on one major presentation for the Saturday, Sunday premiere, whatever, and a Wednesday usually a variety show. I want to do a variety show on the devil, God, Sophia, blah, blah, blah. There's other things I could do, presentations on agent smithing. I could redo my NPC signaling videos. That's a good one too. Angel smithing, agent smithing. I don't know. There's a lot to talk. Law of attraction stuff. I pretty much have infinite content, to be honest. It's just that, I'm actually very busy. People have to understand I work a job. Like these days I'm very busy, which is why I would prefer to just wait till the New Year's to come back, because I don't get home till like midnight or 1 a.m. and I have to make YouTube content, and I also started working out again, and I'm learning Spanish. I'm a very busy person, so, and I have to respond to emails. This is a bunch of stuff that I do. Okay, let's see, policy of the channel. Yeah, dude, I don't care. It's whatever. I will, going forward, I'm actually going to quote-unquote try again, which is where, like back in the day, I was actually more formal about it. I was a lot more hopeful. I was making like the thumbnails, whatever, but I would like to go back to a more structured, predictable schedule. So for example, if it's the Wednesday variety show, I would put it at like 9 o'clock. I don't know. It depends if people want me to actually be there during the premiere time. That's like, then I would have to pre-shoot it for Monday, Tuesday, and then I would premiere it at 11. But I do care about people's personal life schedule. But I could talk about the timing later, because we're going back to old timing. So probably, like 11? Now I don't want to do 11 p.m. for Saturday. I probably just want to do 9 p.m. Saturday, 9 p.m. Sunday, and Wednesday variety show could be like 11 p.m. after I get back from work. And if it's a Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, or Friday, I could put out my avatar and just have a lulzy, doesn't matter sausage party where I could talk about random topics or current events. Those videos I usually delete anyways, but moving forward, we're going to go back to how my channel was before the astral charts. That's a big hindrance. So hopefully we can just go back to presentations. I want to go to book presentations, movie presentations of breakdowns. Like there's a bunch of movies to go through. I mean, like first of all, Matrix 4 is New Year's Eve, just to ring in the new year so that you don't fall for this basically, I mean, this infinite loop of the truth or trap, whatever. I am gonna do the book recommendation of Combating Cult Mind Control, but at the movie presentations, I want to rush out the Matrix as fast as I can. So Matrix 4, Matrix 1, 2, 3, and Dark City. I mean, those are my things I want to get through. And then Wizard of Oz, I mean, that is a goddamn nightmare. I mean, the type of reading I have to go through for Wizard of Oz is going to be more than The Matrix, like, trust me. I mean, Wizard of Oz, and then there's like, what is it, Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory, Snowpiercer, and Snowpiercer the series, I could do that. Mr. Nobody, The Lighthouse, obviously Interface. I mean, I should do Interface, to be honest, at some point, relatively soon, actually. Okay, let's see, video types, actually, I'm trying to think. Let's go. Wait a minute. Nah. Okay, video types. Okay, let's see. Okay, of course, that's just for video types. We're gonna try to go back to how it was before. Comments. I'm actually gonna I'm gonna do less of the house cleaning episodes where I address the comments in a video, just because it is boring. It clutters up the curation of the library channel, and I should just either, if it's not that important, I'll click a like or a heart just to show you that I read it. I usually try to address it before, but I have to move on because I'm very busy. So unless it's actually very important or whatever. So comments, I mean, I'm going to do less house cleaning or a reaction for that. I'll probably just type it to you, since that I have dyslexia, so it's very difficult for me to read in real life. So I try to just use text to speech. Emails, yeah, people can still email me. I mean, I'll try to do unlisted video. I mean, I'll still do unlisted videos. It's not that big of a deal to me. I just set it to the side and then do it when I have time. If you ask me a generic question, I mean, I'm just gonna say, oh, anonymous person sent me this question, I'm gonna answer it or whatever, or bring it up sometimes. But in general, most emails I do private unlisted, just because people have their own personal questions. So it's not that big of a deal for me. Okay, and then New Year's resolution. Let's see, New Year's resolution. Yeah, so look, I just want to do the reboot for real, okay? I want to give people the chance, if they want to move off my channel, to move on. I mean, to me, that's ideal. Like, I want you to live your life. I mean, you've already learned enough. Everybody's just here for the bonus points, or bonus stars anyways, like a Mario Party. Christmas, I want you to enjoy your time with your family. I mean, I really don't want people to give me money unless you feel that compelled to give me shekels for Christmas for whatever reason, because I want you to spend it on, on your friends and family and enjoy, this holiday season. And that way, if I push it off till New Year's Eve, most people give me shekels on the 1st anyways, so that way you could keep your monies for yourself. I mean, I do this more as a hobby anyway, so I mean, but people do give me donations to keep the channel going, and I would like to use whatever shekels I get for the New Year's to buy a bunch of movies. Like, I want to buy, obviously, The Truman Show, The 13th Floor, Twin Peaks. I mean, there's a bunch of stuff I could buy in preparation. Like, my New Year's resolution is simple. Like, I've already moved on from my masters. I mean, the only master I still respect is my Qui-Gon Jinn, Warren Pollock. I mean, he's the only one that got everything right. Like, this guy predicts like 20, 30 years out into the future because he understands generational dynamics. He's very ground level. He understands that where the ground game is at the rule of law and demographic will. So, because, I mean, that's beyond the conspiracy people. I mean, I like SQS to reboot me, but when he came back, he came back like in Pet Sematary. They don't come back right. My Yoda Master, Josh Reeves, I mean, look, I gave him a final bailout. If he makes it, he makes it. I mean, after the New Year's, I'm going to block his email, never watch another of his radio shows, not listen to another's videos or whatever. I mean, his stuff is good from when he was actually, at his prime in his golden age, but his downfall really came because of himself, because he left YouTube because of the censorship, and he didn't want the YouTube to control what he says, because a lot of people, I mean, this is the downfall of a lot of people. They couldn't control their speech. So, like, I got no problem saying the Voldemort disease, the magical elixir, whatever crap. I mean, that shit's easy to me. It's because English isn't my first language, so I'm used to switching words around. So yeah, so I'll probably stop watching. Yeah, so Josh was very important for my journey here. I mean, I started off in the economics collapse community with Warren and the people who were disaffected after the 2008 crash and the Iraq War after blind 11th. I mean, that's where I really came from. I went into the incel MGTOW wizard community for the shits and giggles. That shit was funny. That's why people who are on my channel, I mean, a lot of them are actually from that community, hysterically. And then I got into the real deep stuff, right, like the ancient shit, like back to before the creation of man, like the highly secretive stuff. I mean, like the stuff that I hear and that everybody talks about, it's just a joke. I mean, no one knows what they're talking about. The shills, their deception agents, their think tanks, their actors, their cult leaders. I mean, whatever, dude. Or they're just like bumming around. I mean, what's whatever, dude. I mean, maybe I should quit my job and just milk my audience, right? I mean, that's what everybody else does. But, I'm the type of person that likes to be active, like at all times. Yeah, so my New Year's resolution, I'm moving on from my masters. Really, the only master I still respect is Qui-Gon, which is Warren. Even his videos today, they're very prophetic, like embracing dictatorship. What happens when the value of labor trends down to zero, like the end game of capitalism into communism, which is what we're heading into now, the neo-techno-feudal communitarianism that we're facing with the whole Voldemort disease, magical elixir plan, great reset crap. I mean, that shit's obvious. The whole China thing, I mean, China disappearing, man, that's a great presentation. SQS, I'll still watch him like every once in a while to reset my brains, but even he has his own obvious hang-ups because, there's a certain bridge that a lot of people can't cross, and that bridge is the bridging of, enlightenment or the Buddha, but then every religion is basically corrupted in the mainstream these days. I mean, that's why I say I'm more of a Gnostic, Catholic, Christian, Atlantean, Buddhist, whatever, because that's the most accurate one. I mean, I've studied like everything. Really, I mean, what's really the most accurate is actually Robert Monroe, and Philip K. Dick. I mean, I do want to review Robert Monroe, go over the Books of the Dead again for the new people, and I do want to give people who are new on my channel the opportunity to go through my older works, like the weird Australian girl. She's new. She wants to go over my work, so I won't delete anything for a while. Kang, he's pretty new, and some other people are pretty new. I mean, I'm going to have a house cleaning again for my channel on New Year's Day, but I'm just getting rid of the unimportant videos, really, and I want to make my videos set in a way where I'm not goofing around, right, where I'm not trolling around, I'm not trying to obfuscate the information or hide stuff, because then even I can't figure out what videos are important or what I said is important, okay? I mean, I just want to make it easier for the sake of posterity, or when I do bounce and people want to review my channel, because the stuff I said from like a year ago, that was my golden age. But even then, I mean, I was still holding my punches back, obviously, now that people are aware of the things now. Yeah, dude, I mean, I am unsubscribing for a lot of people. I mean, I only plan to subscribe to 2 people on my channel. That's Aeon Bites. I mean, I like Aeon Bites. It's a Gnostic radio show. To me, it's still baby level, but I still like hearing about this stuff. It's a good refresher. To hear people talk about Buddhism at that level, or Theosophy or Gnosticism, or like the weird alien gods like Abraxas. I mean, that's great. So Gnosticism, I'll definitely keep Aeon Bites subscribed. Who's other? I only subscribe to like a cartoon channel called Millennial Thinker for the shits and giggles, for my own personal entertainment. Everyone else I'm unsubscribing from. Maybe I shouldn't be negative towards Matt, Quantum of Conscience. I mean, I always get upset, but realistically, I mean, I'm not stupid, all right? It's I say a lot of negative Nancy things, but I mean, he's right, all right? It's an Amish classroom, so that way he can just get the most views and likes. I mean, come on, man, it's just a business, and he games out the algorithm. I mean, it is my mistake to trust an insurance salesman, all right? I'm the dummy for trusting an insurance salesman, all right, with my spirituality. That was a dumb move. It's not that I don't know, I probably can't watch Drew because of the scorched earth policy. I mean, the problem is I actually like EBT. I mean, the problem is EBT is the big bully. So, yeah, but in general, look, I'm trying to stay away from the drama. All right, I'm just busy. All right, look, I'm busy. I work a job full time, so that's like 40-ish hours. I run a YouTube channel and I work out. Like, I plan to work out like 3 to 4 times a week. I want to get back in shape for when I go to Florida in like June, whatever, for my real life meetup, whatever. If you guys want to hang around Universal Studios and chill out. I mean, I'm a real person. I mean, I don't care if you want to chill out at the pool. I mean, I don't care if you're in the Florida area. That way people can buy me drinks, whatever. Yeah, but I mean, also, I'm busy. I mean, I also have to learn Spanish. I mean, my New Year's resolution, I mean, I plan to learn Spanish fluently. I need it for work. I mean, I'm already speaking Spanish, just so you know. I just didn't realize there was so many dialects. Like, I know Dominican, El Salvadorian, Colombian, Mexican, Spanish. Spanish is weird. They do this weird TH sound, like, hostia, tío, hostia, like the TH before the ER, so instead of the beer would be like cervezas, they would be like cervezas. It's weird as shit. I mean, but whatever. I mean, I need to know Spanish. I mean, so my New Year's resolution is simple: moving on from my Yoda Masters, unsubscribing from everyone to stay away from the drama, and I don't want my minds get infected with other people's BS. But the problem is if I move in this route, because what I've noticed is that I am like literally the tributary water that all the other content creators drink from. Like, they won't admit it, but a lot of people who watch my channel, actually content creators, they all secretly conspire behind and then watch my channel. I mean, it's ever since I made that what's it called? God, that goddamn video. Remember the truther ranking video? That shit was hilarious, where I ranked all the truthers. That was hysterical. Yeah, but it's because I was clowning around, so they all know who I am. So I mean, but then I become a promulgator of thought. That's the problem. Okay, let's see. And then, yeah, I gotta learn Spanish, work out. I'm very busy, so it's because I do want to take this seriously and wrap things. Well, I don't know if I'll ever be able to wrap things out, just because with the way people keep asking me. To me, if it's just a book club, if it's very benign, it's not that big of a deal. So, yeah, I mean, but look, plus people tell me that they're bored, right? They need to be entertained, all right? Especially with the whole Voldemort disease, and then we're gonna go for the Omicron round 2. I mean, there's so much stuff. And you know what I should do? What I should do is actually data mine David Bowie, because with David Bowie in video game Omicron, I mean, he's telling you a lot of stuff. I mean, there's even this movie where it's his dramatic acting where he's an alien who fell into Earth. I mean, there's so much of David Bowie. He was even portrayed in American Gods, and look, I mean, David Bowie is like where it's at. Okay, so I hope everyone understands that I'm not coming back until the new year, so we can have a clean reboot and we can have a fresh start. Yay! Okay, I mean, whatever, dude. I mean, I don't know how much. I mean, this talent show is just getting stupid. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Oh yeah, we gotta take care of this complicated comment by Dark Glasses. Okay, let's start.
Yo, Kevin, you have got me thinking about the 3 suns and their significance.
The 3 suns, this would be the black sun, the red sun, the yellow sun. I mean, the yellow sun's inversion to white is a significator of something else. I mean, it is the crown of the Kamamara, or it is of the Tetragrammatron. I mean, this is a highly esoteric thing. I mean, the sun that you see outside, it is considered the exoteric sun. The sun opposite of that would be considered the true spiritual sun, which is the invisible clear light of blackness. I mean, that's the real thing. Then there's the opposite reflection of the sun, which is the moon. But in reality, the Earth that we're on is actually the moon of the Earth that was before, which is the moon, and before that was Mars, if you want to get into this weird shit. So that's more like the ancient past. Like, this is basically the fall of man to its like denser form. So
Yo, Kevin, you have got me thinking about the 3 suns and their significance. The yellow and now white sun that rules over this life and is the focal point for all forms, the red sun that is the sun over multiple ages, and
yeah, the red sun is multiple focal sun. I mean, in tradition, I mean, the red sun was always attributed to Saturn anyways. But that's like towards like, this is like the aging and moving over from Kronos into Jupiter. Like Levette says, we're always ruled by Mars and Jupiter and Mercury these days. It's because it's true. They moved over to Empire. Like, we paid attention to Lord of the Rings. The Lord of the Rings, the Lord of the Ring of Power, the Eye of Sauron is the Eye of Jupiter. That's obvious. It is of war. It is of Mars, which is correct. The way that they control you through these days through buying and selling and trading is of Mercury. I mean, that's why Lovett always says that, and it's off the masculine axis of the sun. I mean, before that would have been of Saturn, which is of you shall reap what you sow, which is the golden age of Kronos. Would have been also in relationship to Osiris, and he's always relegated to farming and karma, which is also the lord of karma, which is why Saturn is demonized in the truther community, because they're shucksters, they're shilsters. Like the moon is demonized, like the Saturn moon matrix. The moon is the feminine axis. It's actually of the feminine Sophia, which is the previous incarnation, before this Earth thing of your incarnation here. So, I mean, I would always say that Earth is actually the moon is actually the real Earth, and this Earth that we're on is actually a moon, which is why, like the Earth and the moon, their relationship is unique in the quote-unquote universe. And then you see a similar relationship with Venus, because Venus phases like the moon, because Venus is a luminary that actually is a moon, and the opposite side of Venus, which you can't see, is actually Vulcan. And then there's the whole destroyed planet of Lucifer. That's the whole battle of the angels. I mean, this is like in the Bible. I mean, don't you remember like Lucifer fell and took a third of the angels with them, whatever. Yeah, because Lucifer got destroyed during the whole war in heaven, flying Vedic Anunnaki great space war crap. And then we're basically the remnants of basically shit that happened a long, long time ago. And then we're just working out this bardo of existence, which is why Philip K. Dick means right. I mean, we should be applying the Tibetan Book of the Dead to our existence and life here, and recognize that the reflections of the Harakas, or the demons, the Devas, Asuras, like we see stuff on a screen or people around us, it's a projection of our own selves. So, I mean, this is a higher concept. So, which is why I always tell you, NPC signal, live out your life, do what you got to do what you got to do. A lot of the projections of yourself is your own psychological imprints anyways. Like a lot of people get mad over the mask. I don't give a shit. Like I live in the Northeast, so I mean it's much more. I mean it's like goddamn Gestapo land. But I mean I just carry in my pocket. I mean if I was going to store to put it on, I just put it on. Blah blah blah. No one really gives a shit. I don't cover my nose. Blah blah blah. I mean. I do the bare minimum to get by. The whole magical elixir thing, people are like, oh, people gave me a hard time about the whole magical elixir, where I said, if you have to take it to feed your family, you should, which is, I will always agree with that. If you have to take it to feed your family, then you should. I mean, a lot of people can't just, like, quit up and just sponge off. I mean, like, I want to get real here, but there's a caveat. I mean, I always told people, you could always just apply for a religious exemption, which is what I did. And people asked me, Pen, can you write me a religious exemption? So I made 2 videos showing you how to do it. I mean, you're supposed to fight in certain ways in a bureaucratic system. That's how it works. You're not supposed to be the transgressor of aggression, or else they come at you with, unstoppable force, and then you get crushed. I mean, I understand how to operate and survive and quote-unquote commie takeover, because my family, they survived the Happy Fun Time summer camps and the previous commie takeovers in Asia. So I mean, I actually understand exactly what to do. All right, is to accept what's going on, and you need to be very careful on how you move going forward, which is why NPC signaling is great. Plus, I mean, to me, my reality bubble is not bad. I mean, I chill out, talk to my friends. I still go get booze at the liquor store if I'm bored from coming back from hard days of hard labor. I mean, it's not that big of a deal. I mean, I feel like a lot of people just over dramatize, and everyone's pretty much gone used to it because it's the new normal, so no one really gives a shit. It's just a matter of corporate bureaucracy and the Karens and the snitches. I mean, to me, it's not that big of a deal.
The yellow and now white sun that rules over this life and is the focal point for all forms, the red sun that...
Yeah, it's the classic trinity. So, yes, that's true. I mean, that's why whenever you look at these savior figures anyways, they always have a halo of a golden halo behind their head. Hello. If you even look at the portrayals of like the Sister de la Muerte, or the ladies of death, they have a black sun behind their head because it's the eclipsing of the moon, whatever. That's like, I mean, that's where eclipses causes danger. And then they'll have the red sun sometimes, especially over Egyptian figures. But then it's also culminating into the secret esoteric sun, which is obviously Sirius, which is why on Christmas, the sun facing east, it faces to Sirius, which is why in the summer, the veneration point which you see is all about Sirius, really. If you actually understood Sirius and Deneb and the Egyptian stars, I mean, Sirius is actually where the soul incarnations come from. The birthing places of quote-unquote soul starlight beings is actually from Orion. I mean, this is where this whole Masonic stuff comes from. I mean, I understand these secret religions and the Theosophy, Masonry, and Christianity, Gnosticism, Buddhism, the Vedic. I understand everything on a very deep level, and to me, it's a very obvious thing that's going on. All right, we're in the game of Dharma. This is the goddamn Matrix. All right, the architect, Jobulon, Mickey Mouse, whatever you want to call it, Abraxas, the Kamamar, whatever. He who sits at the center of the Milky Way galaxy. I mean, it's pretty much this goddamn picture. I mean, I showed this like 1,000 times. I mean, once you figure out the game, I mean, it's goddamn easy. Yeah, and then, you know, whatever, dude. I mean, it's not that hard. I mean, your goal is really to, you know, exit out the clown show, the circus, and become a quote-unquote Buddha or a saint, all right? Like, you see outside of here, outside of the Kamamar, outside of all this BS, it's like the Catholic saints and the enlightened Buddhists, all right? Like, come on, man. Like, to me, this is simple. So, at this point, I mean, if you don't get it at this point with the whole, everything that's been happening for the past 18 months, I don't know, man.
The yellow and now white.
But I do gotta admit, a lot of people didn't make it, unfortunately. So.
The yellow and now white sun that rules over this life and is the focal point for all forms.
Yeah, and the sun, the astral charts are so like in astrology, or when I do an astral chart, the sun is the general consciousness. It is the CEO. The moon also is the black sun, really. I mean, but calling it black is not really correct. You could also consider it silver or whatever. It's the feminine blue axis. That's the board of directors, which has power to control the CEO if the mind is in control of the CEO, which is true. And then the chairman, who is the hidden esoteric sun, is the one really behind everybody, controls everybody, but it's more of a general spiritual nostalgia. But it is the focal point of origination of your avatar, really. So that would be the true black sun, if you want to call it that. But this is also reflected in the Trinity. What is it? It's supposed to be Jesus, Sophia, and God, whatever. So I mean, everybody knows this. It's, if you look at it, even in Egyptian, what is it? It's Horus, it's Isis, it's Osiris. This shit's obvious, okay? It's a Trinity and everything. I mean, what is it? It's God, it's Shiva, Vishnu, Brahman, and then there's the form above that would be the Para Brahman. I mean, this is in everything, all right? Like, what is it? It's even a goddamn, what is it? Is it? I mean, in Norse, would it be Balder? Whatever, dude. I mean, look, it's in every religion, okay? Like, I mean, do I really have to say this?
The yellow and now white sun that rules over this life and is the folk.
Actually, it's also the three forms of Zeus. There's Zeus Hades, which is the sun you see outside. There's Zeus Neptune, which is the technically, I mean, you would consider it actually the sun that sits over the North Pole. And then there's the Zeus Olympius would be like, I guess, Saturn or Jupiter, really, depending on which context you look at. And it's just like hidden esoteric astrology. And beyond that would be Uranus, which is why the elites venerate Uranus and they do everything according to Uranus. Like, a lot of this whole magical elixir of Voldemort disease crap, it happened because Uranus entered into Aries, and Uranus is actually going to cycle out of Aries. I think around June, or no, it's I forgot what the exact date is. It's around July. Probably actually, it's around July 4th when Uranus enters into Taurus out of Aries. So they got a shitload of stuff to do in between that time, which is why they're gearing up for that. And then things will calm down by then. But it depends on how hard full monkey they're going to go for this round, especially since the Great Saturn conjunction is over. But I mean, it's more of an astrology thing. I mean, I just wish I just wish people actually understood astrology. Then it's easy pickings. I can just understand what's happening.
The yellow and now white sun that rules over this life and is the focal point for all forms. The red sun that is.
Oh, and just so you know, I mean, I got to repeat this over and over again. They're going to do something big in the year 2029 on Blind 11 because it is on a Tuesday, which is Mars, so it's masculine action, so they should be doing something big on 2029. So, I mean, look, I can see very far into the future. I can actually see like 100 years into the future at this point if I really wanted to do this. But I mean, I personally don't care. So, I mean, I'm just letting people know that 2029. I mean, and get ready to roll.
The yellow and now white sun that rules over this life and is the focal point for all forms, the red sun that is the sun over multiple ages, and the black sun that is the eternal source sun.
Yep, it's the clear light, like the clear light of the black sun of the Buddha that envisions off into the rainbow. I mean, it's better to view this as the natural color of the red, the blue, and the purple. Like, I mean, I understand what you're saying.
The yellow and now white sun that rules over this life and is the focal point for all forms, the red sun that is the sun over multiple ages, and the black sun that is the eternal source sun. This would seem to apply at the level of the individual and align with the chariot model so that
the chariot models from the Upanishads. I would recommend you read the book Essences of the Upanishads. It's easier. Yeah, dude, it's just a chariot model. I mean, what is the horse, the driver, and the chairman? The VIP in a stagecoach. I mean, that's pretty obvious. It's the basic idea of, even Gnosticism talks about, they talk about the three types of people: the hylics, the psychics, and the numismatics, which is at the state of those who identify with the body, those who identify with the soul, which is originally the psyche, mind, and those who identify with the spirit. But each of these is focalization points of concentration of basically a laser beam as it graduates down into an inverted pyramid. So the focality point of that of the sun of the exoteric sun that you see, the yellow sun, is like that, those who identify with the land of, the daylight. But if you actually read certain books like Philip K. Dick or these wizards who do stuff at 3 a.m., it's because that is the energy coming off of that of the hidden esoteric sun at night and the power of the moon, which is really that of the deep subconsciousness and the spiritual coming into you. Which is why people who actually reflect their thoughts at night, they're much more intellectual. Like, if you notice with me, everybody knows that I don't sleep until the sun rises, because I'm actually very deeply in tune with that of the moon and Saturn, and that of I guess we call the black spiritual esoteric sun, whatever. And where my sun naturally is actually in that of Libra into Scorpio, more like the start of Scorpio, which is actually the death point of the sun in the galactic center. Astrology is very useful if you understand how to read astrology for your own personal well-being in this game of, a game of Dharma. But like I said before, I personally don't look into it that much because of this idea of astral determinism and fate. So, it can be a bit fatalistic, but in the end of the day, it's actually very true. So,
this would seem to apply at the level of the individual and align with the chariot model so that the yellow sun is the active consciousness, the red sun is the active subconscious, and the black the unconscious.
It should be actually what it should be. It should be yellow, black, and red, but red should actually be pink. But I get what you're saying, because you always have to remember that. But actually, yeah. I like to view it better off as the sun, the moon, and the hidden sun, the black sun. But I get what you're saying. So either way is fine. It's just a matter of terminology. So
this would seem to apply at the level of the individual and align with the chariot model so that...
Yeah, this is also Gnosticism. There are hylics. These are your NPCs. There are psychics. These are your normies, intellectuals. So the hylics, lower 3 chakra, they're like red, orange, yellow. They only care about food, eating, making babies, or having a career. These are basic people. They don't have any real idea for themselves for intellectuality or spirituality. There's the upper 3 people who only care about the intellectual circle jerk, self-ego, smelling on farts. And then there are people who identify with the spirit. That's like the idea of the crown, of the purple, the integration to both. But even then, at the integration of the crown, it can be easily, supplemented by a fake crown, which is why people who get into spirituality, they're often prefronted with the phony establishment religion, or if they look deeper, then they could get stuck on a hamster wheel of thinking that they're Truman Show effect or New Age Tardism. If you go back to the ancient sources, that's where it's at, really. So
this would seem to apply at the level of the individual and align with the chariot model so that the yellow sun is the active consciousness, the red sun is the active subconscious, and the black the unconscious. A ruler who venerates the red sun is claiming authority on the basis of many lives. A ruler who claims their position by a terrestrial lineage, on the other hand, is venerating the yellow sun.
Yeah, so this is what I talk about all the time. There's this idea of the demiurge. There's Sophia, and then there is, there's the true ruler, which is God. So, well, I would say it's more the abstraction form. I mean, there's like 3 forms of God, to be honest, if you want to get down to it, but that's a bit complicated. Yeah, so basically, there are those who identify with, materialism, power, those who identify with intellectual power, and those who identify with spiritual power. And if you get stuck on just one facet, then you basically become unbalanced. I mean, the whole point of the Trinity is to be balanced in the Trinity, right? Like, people only focus on materialism, they just become materialistic, nihilistic atheists. That's not good. People who focus on Sophias, they become like intellectual. Oh my God, like all this love, communitarianism, we got to do equality, and we got to, and then they have no idea for spirituality or material things. I mean, these like the commies or these tarred monkeys who think they're smarter than everybody, but they're not. And then you have the spiritual people. I mean, these people are just as bad as the lesser 2 people that they rag on, just like the truther community or the New Age people, where they're like, oh, all is love, well, we're all spirits, and then, oh, there's a spiritual journey, blah, blah, but they never focus on their material life, and they never focus on intellectual development. So they're just as much of a loser as everybody else. You need a balance of, physical and material manifestation in the living form of your normal life. You need to be adequately adapted in your intellectual pursuits and critical thinking. This is the Sophia aspect. And you need to be aware of the spiritual aspect. I mean, the problem is that each of these parts have been sublimated, really, especially the spiritual aspect. Like, I always try to tell people that you don't need no priest, you don't need to go to no church, right? The kingdom of heaven is within. I mean, God is, you're really a manifestation of a fractal of quote unquote God, and its identifying form as a human. It's a limited form. Eventually go back to it if you identify with that. If not, play again. So
a ruler who venerates the red sun is claiming authority on the basis of many lives. A ruler who claims their position by a terrestrial lineage, on the other hand, is venerating the yellow sun.
Yep, ego, super ego.
It is very interesting that the color of the sun as viewed across multiple ages is red, kinda like how the sun is red at sunset, traveling through so much more atmosphere.
That's true.
This got me thinking about the way the consensus shifts and how that...
Yeah, the consensus is already shifted. What is it? I call consensus gentium. I mean, that's why democracy is dangerous. You basically have tarred monkeys. I mean, this is why. The Greeks were right. Democracy is dangerous. I mean, the whole new normal, and then this Voldemort crap, and then there's commie, low IQ. I mean, this is why they will always be manipulated by the high IQ people. But the high IQ people, they're in just as much of as in danger, because they're outnumbered, 10,000 to 1. So they're basically a fox trying to outwit, 10,000 hens, and one of those hens could magically evolve into a dragon at any point. So they got to be very careful on how they act. I mean, when I view it, what's happening, it's merely what Friedrich Nietzsche calls the will to power for, this game of machinistic survival, which is really what this whole realm is really. I mean, that's why the ancients said that this realm had to been created by some sort of alien god, which is what we call Yab-Sa'Beoth. He's considered the insane wizard, or the devil, really. I mean, the devil, but even the devil is, in the olden days, the devil is viewed as the prosecutor for God to test a man, as man is the physical incarnation of, different aspect form, but God is not necessarily aware or cares. It's beyond human thinking. And Sophia is the bridge between that, but she's the one who created this goddamn clown show, and it's a goddamn nightmare, to be honest.
This got me thinking about the way the consensus shifts and how that alters the rules that underlie the physical world as it appears across ages. As our position in the collective subconscious changes, the symbols that the greater story is written in also change.
Yeah, this is the story of the hero's journey. What is it? Joseph Campbell's Hero with a Thousand Faces. It is the natural shifting of the wheel. Anyways, yeah, everybody knows the wheel. So let's see. Okay, let's review the wheels that we've been on so far. Okay, what is this, Leo? I mean, wasn't this goddamn Egypt? It's Horus. Electric Chicken is Quetzalcoatl. Before that would have been Mani, to be honest. Where would have Mani fall out? Yeah, Virgo, yeah, Mani. Okay, Gemini. We got the Buddha. I mean, okay. Then over here, Taurus. I mean, Taurus technically should have been like the Greek Apollonian Dionysian axis. So, I mean, or I could say it's Baal as the Lord, and then it's really Dionysus. We care about that. Then Aries, it would have been the ram. So this would have been the shepherd. That's Moses. Okay, Pisces. Pisces, I mean, this is obviously Jesus. He is the fisherman of souls. The symbol is he feeds you with the fishes through grace and mercy. So now we're shifting from grace and mercy into karma, will, wishes, dreams, imagination, friends. The metaverse crap. You can be whatever you want. You can be a monkey, fish, frog, female, male, dragon, whatever. I mean, who cares? I mean, we're going full clown world. As we move over from the law of maritime law into the law of air, so it's digital law, and it's goddamn gonna be insane clown world. Okay, I mean, everybody knows this. I mean, that's why I always try to prefront people to telling them that, the time of Jesus is over and it's shifting over to a new whatever. It's really great that I'm actually a Buddhist, because I actually don't get hanged up with this idea that my savior, he's the one true savior. No, I mean, I'm glad that the Buddha said that he was just a doctor for men's souls, and he just came in here incarnated as man. And he says everybody can be a Buddha, just like you. If you're an arhat, you're just on the way path to being Buddha eventually, if you just follow this stuff. But then it got morphed into basically enslavement of the soul through the whole caste system. And, if you don't do this, then you're going to reincarnate into something as a bug. In Christianity, they say, if you don't do this, then you go to hell. I mean, come on, in defending your life, it says, there isn't really a hell, which is also true if you look at the Kabbalistic. I mean, this place that we're in, Earth, is really the lowest, densest material manifestation form, and then there's the natural spiraling up cycle. So, if you care about these things, I mean, that's why they're actually shifting over from this idea of school subconsciousness, group, whatever, into individualistic. What you actually do for yourself matters for yourself. I mean, you can't just coast by off the group or the big boss of the group. I mean, you actually have to chill out, live your life, do what you got to do for yourself, and move on. Aquarius. I mean, that's all it is. I mean, it's natural cycle. So, I mean, this is why they want to get rid of. I mean, I'm glad I was born during this age. I can say this and not get burned at the stake. I mean, you saw what happened to Cathars. They got burned at the stake for this. I mean, my people, during the 70s, I mean, that's why they put him in the happy fun time camps during the commie thing and wiped out religion. I mean, I'm glad I live in clown world, because I can actually talk about this, and then nothing bad's going to happen to me for real. I mean, come on, man. Okay. Just meandering.
As our position in the collective subconscious changes, the symbols that the greater story is written in also change in order that the total story remains coherent.
Yeah, the total story is coherent. Yeah, I mean, this is literally the narrative of the new normal. They want to reestablish the narrative by shutting off the set or multiple viewpoints, which is why on YouTube they basically are allowing like CNN or MSNBC or Fox News or the big corporates to go take over YouTube. Eventually, if you want real information, you have to move off of that anyways. I mean, like, I don't know about actually Odyssey, because they're picking a fight with Rumble, and that's stupid. I might have to pick another platform. But I mean, we'll see what happens. I mean, it just depends on what is available. But yeah, I mean, they're trying to reestablish consensus gentium by controlling the narrative, especially during the internet age. And then we're moving forward into a social digital credit system sooner rather than later. So,
as our position in the collective subconscious changes, the symbols that the greater story is written in also change in order that the total story remains coherent. The moon, which shifts the position of forms in the subjective landscape, prunes the
all is of the mind, which is why the moon, the feminine axis, is very important for Sophia, which is why I venerate the moon more than the sun when I do an astral chart. It's obvious.
The moon,
I mean, the ranking is actually the black, spiritual, hidden, esoteric sun, then the moon, then the sun. That's like hierarchy.
The moon, which shifts the position of forms in the subjective landscape, prunes the underlying structure of the collective subconscious.
Yeah, so the prize is always that of the collective subconscious of humanity in general, because it's a manifestation of quote-unquote Sophia, which is why the feminine axis is always in distress. That's why Levette, she gets it right. She always says, we're in this together, all right? We're in this to get her. They were always after the feminine axis. It's really obvious. Even this whole a trans movement. I mean, it's not. It's about killing the feminine axis, destroying feminine female beauty, and turning all the females into like dude things. And then eventually, I mean, this is like the storyline in Fringe, where they give into logical, pure logic, left brain stuff, and then they actually wipe out, females, and then genetically modify the future progeny to only be men because they become these lizard AI beings. Really, it's just the take over the masculine, logical, machine-like axis versus the creative feminine axis. But even the creative feminine axis, it can be toxic, really. But I mean, that's why they gamed out everybody. So.
Just as the sun rules over forms, she rules over perception. The lesser symbols of
perception is reality these days. All right, that's what we learned with the whole Voldemort disease. This shit was phony baloney, mass hysteria, just a rebranding of the common cold, the flu, and pneumonia. And then they just bundled it up together and said, oh, it's the sea chance Voldemort disease. God, people are goddamn suckers these days.
The lesser symbols of the story change, and this is evident.
I mean, they literally used the AIDS playbook.
The lesser symbols of this.
And they literally brought out the same guy who pushed out the AIDS playbook. Goddamn. Dr. F, get the fuck out of here.
The lesser symbols of the story change, and this is evident in the fluidity of observed reality.
Ding, ding, ding.
For a time, both the previous version of the story and the new one are accessible to memory. Eventually, though, the old
yeah, the past is a memory, the present. The future is a probability, so all that exists is the now. So he who controls the present controls everything. All you have to do is look at a picture of like America from like the 20s versus the post-war, the 40s, 50s, and then the 60s, and then the 70s radicalization. I mean, they do this con game every 20 years, right? The shifting over manufacturing and changing of reality every 20 years, right? Which is why, to me, it's very obvious that we are going full steam ahead into the digital age of goddamn social media overload and algorithms. I mean, this shit's gonna be stupid.
For a time, both the previous version of the story and the new one are accessible to memory. Eventually, though, the old version is subsumed.
Yep.
One cannot remember Atlantis if they are using eyes accustomed to the yellow sun.
That's true. Yeah, but everybody has a genetic memory of the fall of man from Atlantis. That's like the fall from the garden, the palm tree garden, Eden. I mean, this fall is genetically remembered through you. I mean, really, it goes back to Mars, or as we go into lower descent forms of material manifestation of man. But then again, the stuff, I mean, who's going to believe it? All right? No one. I mean, people don't even believe in the Great Flood, even though it's documented into every single, literally every single religion and history of every ancient people. I mean, the Great Flood happened. But, I mean, there were 2 Great Floods, all right? That's what people forget.
One cannot remember Atlantis if they are using eyes accustomed.
Just like there were 2 Enochs.
One cannot remember Atlantis if they are using eyes accustomed to the yellow sun. If, on the other hand, they were under the red sun, and viewing across multiple lives.
Well, yes, and this is actually referenced in the Matrix. You see the Matrix, it's all green. It's a different sun. You see the Matrix 4, it's a golden sun of Sati. This is why they always brought back Sati and always mentioned her with Rama, which is an Indian god. Yeah, this idea of suns and... I mean, look, we live in a matrix, all right? Like, that's all that there is to it, okay? You want to get close to the architect, you're probably going to have to beam yourself out to Sirius and have a little talk with the architect. I mean, come on.
If, on the other hand, they were under the red sun and viewing...
Oh, but yeah, I also got to mention this. The supreme architect of the universe, I can't believe Philip K. Dick was talking about that for like 2 whole chapters. Like, what is going on? Like, what is going on? There's something to Philip K. Dick, right? He's friends with Robert Anton Wilson, the guy who wrote Illuminatus and Cosmic Trigger. That guy is one of the, I guess he was, I don't know if he was a founder, but he's part of the Discordian Society, and then there's the Discordian Bible, and they were involved in shady stuff. And Philip K. Dick was involved in a lot of counterculture. The problem with Philip K. Dick is that he stopped the whole takeover Nixon, whatever, blah, 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 in the 60s, and now we're actually facing the inversion of the 60s as it gets mirrored out here to the 2020s. So did he really stop anything, or did he just come into his work really at a natural cycle when it was like easier? I mean, that's why I said during the whole 70s, 60s era, that time was a time where America had a free pass to become enlightened, become like the Buddhists, which is why they crushed that hippie movement with the drug culture and authoritarianism and the riot police. I mean, it's really sad what happens, and then that's why they crush the Southeast Asians like my people, and then now we're in a shit show where spirituality is basically dead, and everybody's just fighting or arguing over semantics. So,
if on the other hand they were under the red sun and viewing across multiple lives, they could see it more clearly.
yeah.
The idea that the battle is for the control of Sophia is a great insight, in a sense.
Yeah, I've said that 1,000 times. The real prize was always for the minds of the masses, of the lemmings. Because Sophia, she's always in distress. The female is always in distress. Just like Trinity is always in distress in the Matrix.
The idea that the battle is for the control of Sophia is a great insight, in a sense, though it is always the case. The structure of the collective subconscious.
And they do this every 20 years. So, I mean...
The structure.
I mean, goddamn. I mean, literally. I mean, what did people think the whole ISIS thing was? I mean, that's how they demonized the feminine axis during the whole Obama time, doing 08. I mean, there's actually a period in between the 20-year cycle, which is the rising climaxing point, which is why I know something's going to happen at 2029. So.
The structure of the collective subconscious is illustrated in the sky by understanding that rulers can capitalize on changes in the tides of collective perception.
And that is why they all follow astrology. Like, what is it? Billionaires use astrology, millionaires don't. Nancy Reagan, she had a royal court astrologer while they all pretend to be Christian. They're not Christian. All right, come on, man. I mean, like I said it before, I mean, these people, they give... fake religions to dummy masses like they did during the times of Egypt, saying, oh, go worship the sun, go worship Ra, you idiots, while we have our secret pantheon of alien gods and our weird religion and Sirius and just pantheism, whatever. They did the same thing with the whole Christians, right? Which is why they worship a secret pantheon behind the scenes. I mean, I'm very aware. I mean, I understand the deeper esoteric mysteries and the multiple alchemical encodings of even like the Bible. I mean, but even that to me, I mean, that's very incomplete compared to other stuff because things have been taken out of it. Like, I actually like the Gospel of Thomas very much, as well as the secret apocryphal book of John and the book of Adam and Eve. But it's been a while since I've gone through that. But that's really just one facet. I mean, there's multiple facets. Like the sutras are also great, and the Zen Taoist works like the I Ching is also great. So.
The structure of the collective subconscious is illustrated in the sky by understanding that rulers can capitalize on changes in the tides of collective perception.
Yeah, that's obvious. What was Trump? He was basically Janus. He was the transitional phase for the next coming. Where's that French guy? Macron. He was like, I am a Jupiterian god. These people are goddamn dumb. It's because they realize that they can actually embody these powers and bring it to fruition. As above, so below. And that's why these actors like to play upon the roles as actors. Remember when I did that video of was The Masked Singer, and I knew that Sun was gonna win, because I mean I knew that from the start, and she did win. It's because I can read astrology. I mean, it's very obvious to me.
The structure of the collective subconscious is illustrated in the sky by understanding that rulers can capitalize on changes in the tides of collective perception.
Obviously.
It stands to...
Oh, I do want to say this. I mean, I don't know why people focus on gematria so much. I mean, you should be focusing on understanding astrology and Kabbalism. Like, I gotta be honest. I mean, that's why these truthers will go nowhere with their gematria or analyzing crap instead of understanding Kabbalism and, true astrology.
It stands to reason that they mirror what is above and what is below, so that cities correspond with celestial bodies and are thereby vehicles for exerting influence on collective perception. New York is finance and art.
New York is the... let's see, I'm trying to think, what is it, the actual three pillars? It would be the city-state of Washington, D.C., the City of London, and Vatican City. That's the three true pillars. We're talking about the financial pillars. It would actually be New York City, probably Shanghai for the east, and then City of London. All this doesn't really matter, to be honest, because there's like the two pillars for that. Each city has its own thing. There's like all the black magic arts comes from Chicago. That's why it's the middle. That's why a lot of stuff is happening in like the middle area, like these days. We look at the cultural development. I mean, they have cultural offshoots. And Silicon Valley is very important. You forgot about that.
New York is finance and art. Washington is...
And New York's very important because New York is the only city that has every single race and color and creed of people in the world. So because it has the greatest concentration, they have to do a ritual there because it genetically and, you know, spiritually affects everyone at all times. I mean, that's why they do everything in New York City, because it has all of humanity in one city. That's why they do it there.
New York is...
And they also do this whole thing where they prefront, oh my god, it's happening in London, oh my god, Italy, and well, I mean, it really came from the black and white Guelphs from Italy. I mean, that's like the old bloodlines, or, I mean, I can't really talk about the bloodlines.
New York is finance and art. Washington is war and control. Chicago...
Washington is policy. I mean, Washington is a goddamn Egyptian necropolis. I mean, what do you think the White House is? That's the Great White Lodge.
New York is finance.
And there's the phallic of Osiris there. The Senate is the booby of Isis. I mean, it's goddamn Egyptian necropolis. I mean, that place is a goddamn magical city. Like, I remember my Yoda master was laughing because the witches wanted to curse the president at an Egyptian necropolis. You want to do a black magical ritual against the president at an Egyptian necropolis of the most magical... I mean, the whole city is a goddamn magical sigil. So, I mean, I don't know what these quote-unquote new age witches were thinking. Like the people who practice magic these days are just some of the dumbest people I've ever heard of in my life. Like, you want to get into real magic? I mean, that's on a whole nother level. That's like ancient shit. Or, I mean, there's a reason why everybody studies Crowley. I mean, he got it off after the whole World War II and Himmler. He basically data mined everything, even back to the Middle Eastern stuff. And then after that, the American stuff branched off into Jack Parsons and L. Ron, if you want to talk about the American Axis. So,
New York is finance and art.
I mean, you know, I am a quote-unquote wizard, but I mean, I try not to talk about these things, because I mean, I just think that, you know, I personally just stay out of it.
New York is finance and art. Washington is war and control.
Like, I want to make this clear. I mean, magic's real. Just because you don't understand it doesn't mean it's not real. I mean, this is the problem with the truthers. There's such low IQ dummies, narcissists, and solipsists. They don't understand that, you know, these people are on a different level than you.
New York is finance and art. Washington is war and control. Chicago is social engineering. Los Angeles is entertainment and
Chicago's where the black magic's at.
New York is finance and art. Washington is war and control. Chicago is social engineering. Los Angeles is entertainment and propaganda, and so on.
Yeah, and also get beta tested out by everything in Japan and Korea. That's why the beta test out everything in Asia first. I mean, you see what's happening in America is really the Japanification of America, even with the economy. And then they want to bring on to the Chinese-style socialization of people in general to America. I mean, this is a worldwide corporation after all. I mean, there's no countries. So, I mean, stop analyzing the screen. Stop thinking that, countries exist. They haven't existed for like 30 years. I mean, especially when we're moving into the digital age. We're not into maritime water law. We're going to be in digital air law. So, I mean, what am I supposed to say? I mean, but this stuff people don't understand. They're still fighting over my sovereignty and this and the commerce and all caps and lower caps. And look, man, law of the land's been gone. All right, it's gone. Like, get over it. All right, you get over it. Then you realize you're into the law of the air. So then move on.
New York is finance and art. Washington is war and control. Chicago is social engineering. Los Angeles is entertainment and propaganda, and so on.
Yeah, you forgot
As
Silicon
we are
Valley.
in a transition.
Silicon Valley is where the real power structure is at.
As we are in a transition phase, the extent of control that is necessary to maintain narrative is increasing.
Yeah, it's increasing. This is the idea of projection of soft power versus hard power. I mean, but you know that they're in a state of weakness when they have to tighten the grist, the fist. I mean, there's always this idea, are you going to use the velvet glove or are you going to use the iron fist? If you're using the iron fist, that means you're in a state of weakness, right? Like, I actually think that these people who run the show these days are nothing compared to their predecessors. Like, I was reviewing, what was this pamphlet? Hold on. That was great. Silent weapons for quiet war. Yeah, dude, this is a great manual, but it's like from the old days. I mean, it's definitely evolved over times, but they have to rely too much on computers these days. I mean, we're very lucky. It's not like back during the the eggheads.
As we are in a transition phase, the extent of control that is necessary to maintain narrative is increasing.
It's true.
The rising instability in the physical world must be offset with an increasingly insistent narrative.
Incoherence must be met with gaslighting, correct.
The rising instability in the physical world must be offset with an increasingly
I mean, people are interested in this. I mean, I could review the book by Gustav. What is it? It's called The Crowd. I could talk about Bernays' propaganda, crystallizing consent. I mean, there's a bunch of brainwashing books I've already reviewed like a long time ago for my own personal use. But I mean, I'm just assuming people knew this already. So.
The rising instability in the physical world must be offset with an increasingly insistent narrative. Mass surveillance and technological intrusion are an attempt to control Sophia as she is changing the lesser symbols and shifting the frame of perception.
Yeah, that's true. As Sophia is being freed naturally in the age of Aquarius, they must try to tighten their grips on her. I mean, the elites not know. I mean, they're like a possessive boyfriend. That's all it is. I mean, these guys are actually very pathetic. Like they want to have their cake and eat it too, right? But it's whatever, dude. I mean, at this point, but the problem is these days, people have to make a personal, individual choice, all right? But the problem is that we're stuck in a situation where you don't really have a choice these days. It's just a matter of coercion and just smoking you out. So how are you going to effectively combat the situation, which is really what my Yoda Master Qui-Gon Jinn, he foresaw this coming like 10 years ahead of time in his presentation called Embracing Dictatorship. The way you combat an ineffective bureaucracy is with more ineffective bureaucracy where no one takes responsibility. All right, like for example, this whole magical elixir crap. There are people who walk in line, but the people who resist it. I mean, everybody could have filed for a religious exemption. It wasn't that hard. But the problem is people already gave into authority. Like I knew a lot of Catholics who. Their priests wouldn't write them a goddamn religious exemption, especially for the Boston Archdiocese. I thought it was despicable, but whatever, dude. It's very difficult to talk about these things because it's very nuanced. Like I have a lot of sympathy for people on the ground level because of what's happening, and people don't know how to react because in this situation, it's basically just come on, man, dude. It's a hostile corporate takeover.
Mass surveillance and technological intrusion are an attempt to control Sophia as she is changing the lesser symbols and shifting the frame of perception. As the natural world becomes stranger, they will need an ever more...
Yes, as the natural world becomes stranger, more surreal, then what is surreal has become normalized. Therefore, there is no grounding for what is real and what is unreal. All right, this is why they try to mess you up. They did the same shit during the whole 70s art movement where they were doing Art Deco and made art ugly, all right? You're supposed to overcome the ugliness and try to, rise above this BS and not, associate it with this crap, to be honest, all right?
As the natural world becomes strange...
Like, ugliness will always prevail among weak people. Friedrich Nietzsche was right about this, which is why you're supposed to overcome this because we have basically entered into an age of nihilism. Friedrich Nietzsche was trying to fight nihilism in an age where everything becomes meaningless. He foresaw this, but then people demonized him after the fact and misinterpreted his ideas, saying that, he wrote a book all anti-rise. He said God is dead. People just mischaracterize his work. So, but then we're at the stage that we're in of an existential crisis of nothingness, where nothing matters, postmodernism, and basically just nihilism. I'm actually not a nihilist. I believe in the transmutation through suffering into like the alchemical path of turning lead into gold. That's all that. That's what I do. But everybody can go to the abyss if they want. It's their free will choice. So.
As the natural world becomes stranger, they will need an ever more accurate digital version of us to ensure we can be fed the proper stimulus to offset our noticing things.
Yeah, and that's why I want to keep you on the cult of happiness forever. If you're happy, you're not going to ever identify with the pain, and your pain and suffering is the greatest teacher in life, all right? Those who suffer the most, they become the best people. But you give people pain and happiness and positivity, and then they just become like weak slugs or effeminate males or these Karens who think that they can go beat up like a guy who's like 200 pounds and like 250 pounds and a bodybuilder. I mean, this is the kind of surreal delusion that we are facing. All right, or like even you want to take it to the spiritual matter. You talk about these quote unquote truthers who are basically brainwashed, and then they think that they're spiritually all powerful. I'm the only person in the world that matters. I'm a Truman Show effect, and I don't have to read nothing. I don't have to do nothing. I just won. Why? Because I say so. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's just surreal at every level. Whether you talk about the NPC normie or the quote unquote spiritual people, we live in a time of extreme. I mean, a clown show. I mean, what more can I say? I mean, Disney's giving a great show.
As the natural world becomes stranger, they will need an ever more accurate digital version of us to ensure we can be fed the proper stimulus to offset our noticing things. Our faces must be continually visible to the electronic spies so that a dangerous spy...
Yeah, so that means that the way you defeat the system is you remove yourself from social media as much as possible, which is why my Qui-Gon Jinn Warren told me, never stick my neck out, all right? Disappear through obscurity, all right? I mean, I'm actually violating that right now, and just live your life and chill out, and don't be the nail that sticks out in this tyrannical 1984 Brave New World system that we're entering into. We're in a very dangerous phase because the transition phase is the most dangerous phase, and that's why books never talk about it, because it's like throwing a chainsaw, a knife, and a water balloon in the air and trying to juggle them. I mean, it's unpredictable.
Our faces must be continually visible to the electronic spies so that a dangerous sparkle in the eyes can be detected.
Yep.
In the end, though, the digital is built upon the physical.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, this is the story of Althea. It's a superimposed, it is a simulacre upon a simulation. Therefore, it has no true standing, but in today's age, perception is reality. I mean, what you're supposed to do is actually venerate and find higher value, quality things, whether it be art, entertainment, not this woke crap, or people, not like these woke tards, or these low IQ, no critical thinking, tired monkeys, or these fake spiritual people who have no idea what they're talking about, just repeat whatever their cult leader tells them. I mean, you're supposed to use your discernment and, gravitate to what is actually real. For we are in the desert of the real, in a surreal clown show. Yes.
In the end, though, the digital is built upon the physical. If the incoherence rises to a suitable level, perhaps the artificial story that is written in silicone will break down as...
Yeah, we're definitely in a Cthulhu black magical spell. Like, someone cast like some chaos magic or some shit. I mean, yes, but I mean, it's based on supposition of silicone. I mean, I understand the elite's plan. They want to actually go above quote-unquote natural limitations of physicality, but they don't understand that this place is a quote-unquote learning school at the end of the day. TLDR, they're just going to be immortal gods, transhumanistic, whatever, transcend life and death, break into heaven, really, with their whole weird technology, and then basically take out free will and control populations in the future. I mean, that's like the end game, and as they destroy free will and try to head over to Mars. I mean, as they escape Earth or go to the inner Earth, whatever. I mean, there's multiple plans that I've heard of. So,
if the incoherent,
I mean, they actually want to do the whole what is it? God, is that Blade Runner, the new Blade Runner movie? That's what they want to do.
If the incoherence rises to a suitable level, perhaps the artificial story that is written in silicone will break down as well.
But we're in the Silicon Age, so I mean, this will keep going, but we'll see what happens. I mean, this battle for basically the soul of humanity and Sophia. I mean, this is truly some sort of spiritual great war. But whatever, dude. Okay, I just want to get through the comments real quick. Okay, let's see. Okay, this is a weird Australian girl. Let's see. I do apologize because eventually I'm going to move my show over to where, it's not catered for European, Australian. Because I'm going back to a normal schedule time. I usually upload on the most worst times. Okay, oh god damn it. Oh no, I can't read this very good. Okay, I'm so sorry about your eye. Yeah, I just have a retinal condition. It's called retinitis pigmentosa. I have an ocular macular degenerative cyst. I mean, I've been legally blind since I was like 24. I mean, I was diagnosed at 8, so I got a lot of counseling. I personally don't care. It's just that I can't go outside or play sports and drive. And a woman is a problem because I can't tell if they're attractive. So everyone thinks I'm like gay, whatever, but then I have to show feign interest in women because if I don't, gay men will hit on me. It's like the most ridiculous thing. Okay, you work a job and you still do this in your free time. Okay. Will be okay. It's great to have support from you. I do know that you're commenting a lot. It's because everyone, when they first find my stuff, they're very into it. It's like it's enthusiasm. A lot of people have been on here for 18 months, so I do try to give you preferential treatment. Okay. No offense, bro. Do I have to read exegesis? I never assigned it. You jumped ahead. I mean, I literally say it over here. No, which is why I didn't assign it. It's the ramblings of a madman. Okay, he's technically right because he goes shotgun style. This is why I don't show my book list on Audible, or else people jump ahead. Like I should have showed The Secret Doctrine of the Rosicrucians or other books. Like the Upanishads. I mean, I would have assigned Essences of the Upanishads. It's a much easier book. I go through all the source material works for the sake of going through them. I mean, I actually don't recommend source material work because it takes a very strong mind to understand what the ancients are saying, because a lot of it is actually written in poetic verse a lot of times. So okay, because a lot of stuff isn't actually written in prose in the old days because they were trying to encode stuff. Okay, weird Australian girl. Okay, but do love. Okay, my channel. Okay, that's good. Okay, I do appreciate all the support. Let's see. Okay, I told you not to buy it. Okay, and VC. Okay, you told me to watch that movie about other realities. Okay, yeah. I'll add it to my watching list. I mean, I do have a lot of stuff to watch and movie breakdowns. Let's see. Okay, let's see. David Cage at the game of Omicron. Yeah, that's a good one. Okay. Yeah, dude, I gotta look more into David Bowie. Well, I've already looked into enough of him. Oh, you got Agent Smith too. Don't worry, girl with the rings. Hang, I'll cover the Agent Smithing thing eventually. Okay, I have your. Have you ever realized you Agent Smith one? Well, yes, that's why I don't really approach people, because, I mean, this Agent Smithing thing is the weirdest thing in the world. So, I mean, that's why I usually let people approach me. Okay, let's see. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Lost the minds. Oh my god, you are so funny. I would love to hang out with you. Okay, well, I am having a real life meetup in Florida at Universal Studios in like June, whatever. So you want to chill out with me at the pool? That's the only time. I mean, I don't really go out really. That's like my only vacation since the Voldemort disease. I was forced to work because I'm a grocery store worker, by the way. So, okay, we take our chart. Okay, yeah, explain the chart. Okay, that's basic astrology chart. Can I get your unlisted videos? I delete all my unlisted videos, so I do apologize for that. I actually don't keep any backups of my channel because I just don't care. Combat and Cult Mind Control, yeah, that's a great book. I mean, that book really illustrates that, like, you're all suckers. I mean, no offense. I mean, I was a sucker too at one point. I mean, I want people to remember that, at one point I was like that movie, The Lawnmower Man, okay? I used to be just like Job, alright? I used to be a dumb brute and just read manga and comic books and do menial labor in my backroom job, and my free time I would just chill out and goof off on the internet, okay? And then eventually I just leveled up, reached enlightenment, read a bunch of books, and then now my mind is just way far ahead. I mean, I am the Lawnmower Man. Damn, man, 1 week of learning Spanish. Okay, that's pretty wild. Yeah, I learned Spanish for a week. I have to use it conversationally at work. I just didn't realize that there were different dialects for each country. You talk better than a lot of Chicanos. And yes, you can say more stuff. Yeah, Spanish is funny. I mean, Spanish is actually a very good language to flirt with the opposite sex, to be honest. So, yes, I do plan to be fluent in Spanish. I would like to take the 3-day Spanish challenge where I try to learn Spanish in 3 days for the lulz. I might do that for New Year's. I mean, I'm not sure yet. Okay. Oh, I know you'd have. Okay, yeah, I do apologize. I just, my computer freak. Well, no, my computer didn't forget. I got Agent Smith. So, okay, it's weird. Okay, give me after Christmas. Yeah, because I know you want the astro chart. So if you want to give me, I mean, I know you have a kid, so you should get your kid a present or something. I mean, to be honest, that's why I want to wait till the New Year's so that people can blow their money on their friends and family, then chill out here. This is an extracurricular activity. This is a book club, all right? You were in school, you could have joined a club, all right? But people want to join the esoteric book club or whatever. Okay, sick, you hitting, your nutrition is right, but if you want in a store, it's Wi-Fi, okay. Yeah, Wi-Fi, signal. Okay, I do apologize. I actually can't read this stuff. Okay, oh, ego, yep, okay, let's see. Part 2 deleted. I won't delete my videos until after the New Year's because I gotta prune my YouTube channel again. Okay, let's see, okay, so I hope people enjoy this video. I mean, look, I had to really think about this, right? I do want people to move on. If they want to move on, if they want to stay around, they can stay around, and then I'll be back on New Year's where I reboot. So hopefully I can actually change my act. I mean, look, I take my New Year's resolution very seriously. If I say I'm going to do things on New Year's, I'm actually going to do it. Like I'm going to unsubscribe from everyone except Aeon Bytes and Millennial Thinker. I'm going to stop watching my Joshy boy, Yoda Master. I don't know if he's going to make it, but I try to bail him out. So, I mean, there's only so much I can do. My masters are gone. I mean, I didn't come on. I didn't want to make a channel in the first place. Sorry, Tian is the one who convinced me, and now I'm basically stuck here. I have to learn Spanish. I got to work out for when I go to Florida, in June, whatever. And I still work, okay? But hopefully in the future we can move on to more important things. Like hopefully I can do agent smithing video, maybe redo NPC signaling. Maybe I can talk about the frequency thing. That's more like the crowd, like the herd mentality. There's even like Masonic stuff about this frequency herd signaling crap, or even the origination, like the monolith or the eighth tower thing. I mean, it's a weirder concept of where the signal of evil comes from. Melissa wanted me to do, was it Brave New World 2022 presentation? Yeah, I could definitely do that. But we'll see. So, let's see. Okay, so I hope to see you guys around. Should I still do something for Christmas? Okay, look. I'll still see you guys for Christmas, but it'll just be my quick thoughts on Matrix 4. Then New Year's, I want to do a full breakdown for the Matrix 4. Okay? Alright, so hopefully we can have a fresh new start for the New Year's. I can chill out and calm down. I mean, I've been overly emotional recently, but now, look, I gotta be honest, alright? I'm back to what I was in the beginning of my channel. Like, if you were here from the first group of people when I met Tien, that's basically where I'm at right now. I mean, I said it before, I'm basically turning my face back to the gate at Disney Realm, and I just got people, like, poking me on the back. To me personally, it doesn't matter. I mean, I've collected the balloons, I got the stuffed animals, I got all the t-shirts, now I got a crown because the Great Saturn Conjunction, because I came out and made a YouTube channel. Mickey Mouse is still accosting me with Disney princesses, and the teenage souls keep poking me on the back, being, hey Pink, can you break down this movie? Hey Pink, can you talk about this? Hey Pink, can you talk about this book? Hey Pink. Okay, look, yeah, it's cool, alright. But I'm not going to get emotionally invested in things that don't matter. So like the Greeks always say, there are people who talk about other people, worthless. People who talk about events, worthless. Analyzing the screen's goddamn useless unless you're into astrology and then seeing what the elites are secretly saying. I want to talk about ideas, and really the stuff that I like to talk about is like Robert Monroe, the Books of the Dead, the game of Dharma. That's much more important. And then we can do this as we illustrate it out into popular media culture, Rick and Morty, and obviously The Matrix, Wizard of Oz, defending your life, things like that. Like I do want to go back to how it was before, like when I did my movie breakdown for Soul, and like Groundhog Day. Groundhog Day was a great movie breakdown. It took me like 20 hours, and I did it when I was deathly sick. But be aware, I also get very ill in the winter, because I get ill very easily. Okay. So I'll see you guys for Christmas for a quick react, and then we can talk about a full breakdown on New Year's Eve. Then we can get ready for the reboot. All right. You guys have a great night, and I hope you guys have a Merry Christmas or whatever holiday you celebrate. Okay, so I just want people to chill out for Christmas, and we can reconvene for New Year's. All right. Have a good day. Bye. Hee.